Hello everyone, it's Stephanie Stevens from Pronoun TV and the Stephanie Stevens Show. Today I'm going to be doing a makeup tutorial for you again. Another one to show you from me to fabulous Stephanie. Okay, so as you guys can see, I already have my foundation powder on. I actually use Ben Nye foundation and Ben Nye powder, and I use Dermablend for my foundation. Okay, this is my Dermablend, just so I can show you guys. This is what I use. Okay, get that one because it's amazing. It's perfect. And I use Ben Nye powder. Okay, now just so for you divas on a dime that need to have reasonable makeup, the the Dermablend is kind of expensive, but not really. But it lasts you a really long time and it gives you a good coverage. Okay, now first thing I'm going to do, and I see a lot of you out there that are not doing this. Women do not have hair in their noses. I'm just saying. So first thing I do is I usually just take my nose clipper and just to make sure I clip my nose pretty much. But I'm just making sure. Okay. I can hear that there's no hairs in there. So we are done with that. Now, that's the first thing you want to do is make sure you have a good smooth face. You have no hairs in your nose. Okay, so we're gonna get started right now. First thing I'm going to do, which a lot of people, I've done so many videos that I just generally do makeup the way I generally do it, but all different sort of ways, because sometimes I just throw it on and it's beautiful, but most of the time I try and take my time and make it look incredible. Okay, so then after I put my foundation on and my powder, I am now going to take baby powder. Baby powder. Now this gets everywhere, so just be careful with it. I'll just put that on. Baby powder smells good. It will help keep you cool, and it will also make sure that your makeup is set. Okay? I've been using this for years. I learned this trick from a clown, from watching one of the guys do a clown show. I learned from him many years ago from a movie called Rise. The movie was called Rise. And I saw him do this, and the way he did it, it looked great. And it also kept him from sweating so much. And that's what I like the most about it. So generally, I will use baby powder on my face. Y'all see that? Okay. Now, I'm going to let that sit while I start to put on my contours. Okay? I always start my contours off kind of just like I told you guys many times. I just use black, beige, and like a red underneath my eyes. I don't put any colors on my eyes but black and beige. That's it. So now I'm going to just go ahead and try to start my blush. I'm going to start my blush for you guys. Okay. And it's just black. Just take your regular old brush. Listen, you don't need to be getting a number brush or this brush. Whatever brush feels comfortable in your hand to put your makeup on in with is the brush you should be using. So when I see people saying, get you a number this and a number that, I start laughing because I'm thinking, that you don't need that. Just whatever brush feels good in your hand. I've told these queens this many times that I use cheap brushes, and because what's the difference between cheap brushes and brand new brushes? Nobody's going to know but you. So what's the point? This is drag. It comes on and comes off. So you don't need to spend all your money on brushes and even makeup, because it's going to be washed off in 2-3 hours anyway. It's okay if you want a name brand and you want to feel good and it's for your birthday or New Year's Eve and you just want to feel your name brand products, you know, the high end stuff, then that's okay. But overall, with This Is Drag, you don't need all of that. Trust me when I tell you, you don't need. The skincare thing is a different story. But foundations and powders and all of that stuff, you don't need to spend a lot of money. You do need to spend good money on just the foundation, because most of the time with drag, because we're men, you want to make sure that you have a good coverage. Okay? But overall, you don't need all of that. Okay, so we're even. There's the black on that side. Let's go right up into the hairline. Like I said, thank you guys so much for supporting Pronoun TV. If you have some interesting story ideas that you would like to share on my show, please feel free to reach out. We want to share your stories and conversations with the world. Let's get to talking, people. Let's get to talking. So thank you guys so much for supporting the channel, and thank you guys so much for supporting me. And I'm grateful. You follow me, I'll follow you. You share my stuff, I'll share your stuff. It's simple. Okay, now we're gonna finish doing our contour here, all the way around my head. This is just so your wig lays, blends right into your hairline. So it makes it look like your hairline is real. Now, also, I want to remind you guys that this is drag. So enjoy it. This is drag. Enjoy it. Put the makeup on and feel fabulous. That's all. This is just drag. Okay? Now, I'm blending all these blacks out. Okay, so you guys see that? Let's get this one blended in a little bit more. Okay, so there we go. Now we have our black on. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my orange. I use an orange or a reddish orange. These here are like $2 at the flea market. These are like $2, and they're called Duo, and they're $2, and they work perfectly for drag. I'm sure y'all have seen enough pictures of me in drag to know that cheap makeup can still look good. I tell people this all the time. You don't need to spend all your money on drag. I'm not here to preach to you to save your money. I'm just saying. Okay, now got that on. Get that on here. Same thing here. Okay. You guys see that? All right. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to line my eyes now with that same orangey red. Just the bottom. Just the bottom of my eyes. Okay. So you guys see that? Okay. So this is how I basically start out. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and start laying our highlighters where we want things to be highlighted. Now, I'm highlighting the areas I want highlighted. Okay? So I'm going to highlight just a little bit under my cheeks. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my matte finish powder, and this is what I'm going to use today on my eyes. I'm not going to use the whitish one that I used the other day. I'm going to use this one, and this will give you, when you're on the stage, you will get more of a natural look of a woman when you're on the stage. It'll look strange when I'm putting it on, but once I'm finished, you'll get the gist of it. Okay? Okay. Because today I'm going for more of a realistic, just a little bit over the top drag look. Okay? You guys see that? Okay. I'm going to do the same thing where I put that highlighter, I'm putting this. And we're going to let it sit there and bake. The girls call it cooking. The girls call it cooking. Okay? So there you go. You see that? Alrighty. Now we're going to start with our what are we going to start with? We're going to start with our brows. So I'm going to use a burgundy brow today, I think, or maybe, no, I'll use the reddish one. Since all my hair is black today, I'm going to use a light colored brow pencil for you. Okay, so I'm going to use this. I don't know who it's by. It says LA Girl. Yeah, LA Girl. This one, and I'm going to put my brows on. Okay. So now we basically have that brow on. You know, see that? Alright. Now we're going to shape it out. Since I'm here, I want to just show you, just shape it out. I go and get some of that same powder, and I just shape it. Okay, so you see? Now I'm just going to put a little tip on it, and then we're good to go with that brow. Okay. Okay. So now we have our brow on. We're going to put the other one on. Okay, so we almost got this other brow on now for you. Now, let's match this one to this one. They're not too much different, but we just want to make sure that they're nice and even. So you just take that powder and you shape it. Okay? Alrighty. Now you just take some of this powder and you just lay it on there. Don't brush it too much, just lay it on there. You see how that's laid on there? Okay? See the other one? Just lay it on there. That's what you want. And remember, I do my makeup a lot of times very different. All the time. I just change it up. Depends on if I put my eyes on first, my lips on first, or whatever. Whatever makes you happy when you're doing drag, that's what you do. So I'm doing a quick little drag makeup tutorial for y'all. I'm gonna start teaching y'all. This is what they want me to do. So I'm gonna start teaching y'all because I look so different when I'm a male than when I am female. So I'm gonna teach you how I create all the soft features, how you're supposed to act. Generally, when I'm in drag, I naturally turn more feminine. I'm already kind of feminine as a male, but I'm more feminine when I'm a woman because I'm aware of how I look. If that makes sense. Okay. Now, let's just see here. I want to just do this. Just a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so you guys can really see. Okay, you see where I'm putting that? And remember I told you I just want nude today. I'm going all nude. I'm not painting that heavy drag look. Even though it's going to look heavy drag look, it's still going to give you more of a natural, kind of very pretty feminine look when you're on the stage. Okay? Now that we have most of that on, now it's time for our black. I use a Wet n Wild pencil. They're cheap and they work just as well as any other black pencil. Okay? So just put that on. We'll see that. Okay. Now, what I also do is I usually just start with the underneath of my eyes, and then I'll start drawing from my nose tip. Because I'm shaping my nose to go along with my eyes and my face at the same time. So I start, you guys can see, I drew the line here, started here. Just because on the nose, I want my nose to be pinched like this here. You see that? Like that. So I draw the line there. You can use black. I use black because this is drag makeup, so you want it to be seen and last all night. Okay? Even though it's going to look kind of natural, but yet it's going to still have that dramatic flair that you need for your face shape that you want to create for that night. So now I'm drawing this line on my nose. Okay, now I want to show you a trick because your eyes are the key to your drag. You see how I drew that line? Like this. Up and like that and out. Okay? Because I want this middle part to be open, but I want the end part to be closed. So when the light hits you, it focuses on that part of your eye. And then the middle of your eye is, this part of your eye is the sexiest part. So that's where you should focus. But the wings give you that directs your eye into where the light part is. It makes you more feminine. Okay? So now I'm going to darken this because I want it heavy. You see, I made that heavy under my eyes, and there's the line. I'm sure you can probably see the shape that I'm creating already. Okay? So, now we're going to go and we're going to do the other side. Put the line right down the middle. Okay. I'll be back in a minute when I have this all fixed. Okay. You don't have to have this precise. You don't have to have this precise at the beginning because you're going to blend all that out. So you guys see? Now I'm going to add some more black on this side because I want it to have that deep, I want it to give you that sexy drag look. Okay, so let me show you guys. You see what I did? Okay, you don't have to worry about it even being kind of uneven. It'll work itself out, okay? So now it's time to blend those. So let's get our blending brush. I usually take a little bit of old beat up brush that I have. Let me show you guys. I took an old beat up brush. This brush is like $1. Well, not even that. Came with a set, I think, years ago. Okay, now I'm gonna blend this out and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so now I'm sort of blended. You guys can see? Okay. Now I'm going to just finish my nose off. I'm going to blend that down. Okay. I know it all looks crazy now, but it'll be fantastic when you're done. You don't have to get it right the first time. The more you do it, the easier it'll get and the more fantastic it will look. This is old school drag. It's worked for me for 33 years and it'll work for you. I don't mind sharing my secrets with you. Okay, so now we're going to blend all that out. Now, we're going to blend my nose out. It's going to look a little crazy, so y'all don't be too shocked, okay? Here we go. We're going to take a little bit of this little brush here that's beat up, and I clipped all the hairs off of it because I want this here rough, the rough close knit, close fiber edge brush. And now I'm going to blend this out. Same thing on the other side. So you guys now can see that the contour here has brought my nose, made it that small. You see that? Okay. This is drag makeup. This is drag makeup, okay? The way I do it, all right? So, and this is old school. I taught myself. I'm just watching other people. And then I added my own little twist to it that, you know, that the way I feel, how I feel. So that's what you do. Now that I have that like that, you look at my nose, it looks pinched, like I said. Okay? Now we're going to start filling this in, our shadows, with our powder. Because like I said, we're going for a natural, not heavy. We're going for a heavy drag look, but not that clown eye look. So what I'm doing is I'm just filling this right in here with the same powder I used to do my highlighter. And this makeup is by RK Never Touch Up. Okay? RK Never Touch Up. Okay? So now we got that. Now we're going to do the top of the eye. Okay, you guys see the difference? Okay. Now, you guys to see what I did. Okay. All right. Now we're going to do the other side. Okay. Now we're going to fix our brows just to make sure that they're even. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to line our lips now. You guys can see I have all my color in there. Okay. Alrighty. Now I'm going to go ahead and line my lips since I am here, because I'm going to wear more of like a a nudie lipstick tonight. A nude, a nudie. Okay. Okay. Alrighty, so now I basically have my lips on already. Now we're going to start blending out this black on my nose. And what I do is I just take a regular brush, take some of that orange powder I had, and I put on the brush. And I blend it right into that orange powder. You guys see? I put that red and orange right into that black shadow. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my shimmer so I can slim my nose down. Okay. So just take it and I go right along it like that. You guys see that? Okay. You can use any highlighting color. Generally, you would use one with a shimmer in it because you want it to pop all night. Not to look like, too shimmery to where it just overshadows your face. But when I put it on, I put any one on, a gold one, a silver one, doesn't matter because you're going to blend it out afterwards. Okay. Now this is a Maybelline from Master Bronze. It's fabulous. It's a palette. Let me show it to you. The Maybelline palette. Y'all see that? This palette is amazing. For even if you're doing just shimmers for your lips, you put your gloss on it and you put some of that into your gloss. Ooh, girl, it sets it off. Sets it off. Okay, so let's now go back and we're going to start with putting on our blushes, just to sort of, so the face can now set, because I pretty much have most of my makeup on. Okay, I take those same oranges and browns and I blend them up into this. Because what you want now is you want this to sit on your face. Okay? While you put everything else on. I know it looks crazy right now, but when you're finished, you're going to be beautiful. Okay? So, now we have that on. We're going to let that cook, as they say, while we put our lashes on. Okay? So I'm just going to take my, let me see, which lashes am I feeling? Which lashes am I feeling? Okay, we want to put those on, put these on. Like I said, if I wear 3, 4, 5 pairs of lashes sometimes. Just depends on the show and where am I going, how important the show is, which all the shows are important, but sometimes you don't need lashes this big when you're standing right in front of people. Okay? So, now I'm going to go ahead and put my lashes on for you. I use this little adhesive glue. I don't know what it is. I can't even tell. It says Duo. It says Duo glue. in this little container here, but I use bonding glue with it to make sure, because this is drag. You don't want any mishaps during the course of your show. And this is the black one, so I pull that right up into that. Y'all see that? I pull that glue right up into that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put my lash on. Okay. I have old lashes because I want to make sure that I don't have to do too much to them tonight. So, I'm going to put this on. Then I'm just going to go right back over that lash with this glue. This duo glue is very good, but just to make sure, I put bonding glue. You know, weave glue, the glue that women use for their weaves. I take a little bit of that and I put a little bit of bonding glue on just like this, just on the tip here, or I'll put it on a bobby pin and just right along the eyelash, and then I just push this eyelash up. And you will notice that your lashes will not move all night. Okay. You see? That's what you want. When it dries, it'll get more stiff and you can push it around. You can mess around with it. Right now, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to put the other one on while that one dries. And remember, these are 3 pairs of lashes on. Once they're in shape, they're usually pretty good. They don't give you too much trouble. But they're the best lashes. Old lashes are the best lashes to use when you're doing drag, because they're already shaped and everything, and you've used them, so they're pretty good. New lashes don't give you that definition that you need when you're doing drag, unless you put about 7 pairs on. And me, I'm not looking to put 7 pairs on. 3 or 4 is enough. Because you want that heavy eye look, so it can make your eyes look very dramatic. Try to wing them at the end. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Let me get them on first. If you're putting 1 pair of lashes on, it's simple, it's easy. But with me, I wear 3, 4, 5 pair. because I want that dramatic look. Okay. Alrighty, so basically I have my lashes on. I'm going to wait for them to dry before I start fiddling with them. Alrighty. So while that dries, we are going to line our eyes to make sure that they're cleaned up. You don't want a muddy eye look. So sometimes when you're putting all these lashes on, you can get that, but you can go clean it up afterwards. Okay, so let's clean this eye up. Okay, the reason I do everything with a pencil is because a pencil, excuse me, is like a crayon and it stays on all night. So this is what you want. You don't want